she couldn't ignore the striking resemblance between Amara and her daughter, Zuri. The village soon noticed the uncanny likeness between the twin sisters. As questions arose, in a small African village named Jabari, lifelong friends Nia and Sana shared an unbreakable bond. They grew up together, sharing dreams and celebrating life's moments side by side. Nia, as the second wife of a respected man in the village, was overjoyed when she became pregnant. During her labor, the village midwife, an experienced and trusted figure, was there to assist. As Nia labored through the long night, the midwife briefly turned her attention away, a momentary lapse of focus that would shape the destiny of these friends forever. Nia's labor was an exhausting and challenging process. After the second baby was born, Nia, overcome by fatigue, fell into a deep and peaceful slumber. She was ignorant that she had just given birth to twins, Zuri and Amara. The weight of the birthing process had overwhelmed her, causing her to drift into sleep, unaware of the second child. In that fleeting moment of Nia's rest, Sana made a life-altering decision. Her heart ached with the desire to have a child of her own, and she couldn't resist the temptation any longer. Sana took Amara and fled into the night, leaving nothing behind but a crumpled blanket in place of the precious baby girl. The midwife, the only one who knew the truth, chose to remain silent. She feared that revealing the theft of one of the twins would lead people to believe she was involved, or had sold the child herself, and so she kept her knowledge hidden, sealing the secret of the stolen twin away in her heart. When Nia awakened, she was overjoyed to see her baby, believing her to be the only child born that night. However, as her fatigue lifted, she realized that her dear friend Sana was nowhere to be found. Concerned, Nia asked the other villagers about Sana's whereabouts, but no one had seen her since the birth. Nia's heart grew heavy with worry for her friend, but she had no reason to suspect that one of her beloved daughters had disappeared. Years passed, and the stolen child, Amara, grew up in a neighboring village, unaware of her true identity. She was raised by Sana as her own daughter, growing into a beautiful, intelligent young woman. Kofi, Nia's husband's child from his first marriage, lived in the same village with his father, Nia, and his siblings, including Zuri, Amara's twin sister. When he was just 4 years old, the twin sisters were born. Kofi's life took an unexpected turn when he was sent on a mission to explore the world beyond their small community. It was during this mission that he met Amara. Struck by her beauty and grace, he couldn't have known that they shared the same blood, as he was Nia's son and Amara's half-brother. Kofi's love for Amara deepened to the point where he decided he wanted to marry her. He approached Amara's mother, Sana, unaware of their true family connection. Sana, now living in a different village, couldn't recognize Kofi as Nia's stepson because he had grown into a man. As Sana inquired about Kofi's background, he candidly shared his story, revealing his parentage and connection to Nia. Sana was surprised by the revelation, as she knew Kofi and Amara were siblings, and their love couldn't lead to marriage. She refused the union because she was afraid of the consequences of telling them the truth. Kofi and Amara's love for each other remained solid, despite Sana's reluctance. They took the tough choice to leave Sana's village without informing her because they were determined to find a way to be together. Upon their arrival in Kofi's family compound, Nia was inexplicably drawn to Amara. She couldn't ignore the striking resemblance between Amara and her daughter, Zuri. The village soon noticed the uncanny likeness between the twin sisters. As questions arose, Amara revealed her mother's name, Sana. This revelation set off alarm bells, and it became evident that something peculiar had happened 18 years ago. The entire village decided to confront Sana to uncover the truth. When they reached her, Sana, overwhelmed by guilt and fear, fled and took her own life, leaving everyone in shock and despair. Back in Kofi's village, the midwife finally decided to break her silence, sharing the entire story of the stolen twin and her reasons for keeping quiet. Amara, after learning the painful truth about her past, decided to return to the village where she was raised. She couldn't bear the thought of living without her beloved mother, Sana, despite the circumstances of her upbringing. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, she too took her own life. Devastated by Amara's loss, Kofi followed in her tragic footsteps, unable to imagine a life without her. Nia and her family were forced to bear the heavy load of grief, affected by the catastrophes that had shattered their lives. This heartbreaking tale reminds us of the importance of patience and the destructive nature of envy. Life happens in its own time, and impulsive choices may cause deep regret.